What's up? This video, I'm going to be going over two games: Jacksonville Jaguars against the Buffalo Bills, the Bengals versus Arizona Cardinals. First game, I'm going to talk about the Bengals versus the Cardinals only because Bengals are supposed to be a Super Bowl contending team, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase really went off without T. Higgins. And I know Cardinals don't have the best passing defense in the National Football League, but just the plays that Joe Burrow was doing looked like Joe Burrow from the past, moving around in the pocket. Excuse me, jeez, moving around in the pocket, scrambling. He even rushed a few times, back to back plays, and you can't run if your calf is really bad. So I hope, just for the National Football League's sake, just for good football, I hope Joe Burrow's calf is really getting better. But he was moving in that pocket really well. He took some big hits too, but overall, Joe Burrow was playing really well. Threw some dimes to Jamar Chase in the pocket, one in like the red zone goal line situation. He found Diggs in the back of the end zone, and the deep bomb to Jamar Chase as well. The whole game, they knew that the Cardinals could not stop Jamar Chase, so he was feeding Jamar Chase all game long, and they had no answers for it. And the Cardinals aren't a pushover team. They beat the Cowboys. If they clean up their mistakes, it could have been like a 500 team coming into this game. So they're not a pushover team, even though their pass defense is a little weak. They have good edge rushers, though. Uh, Gardick, I forget his name, number 45 for the Cardinals. He's a solid pass rusher. Jonathan Gannon has that team playing good. It got scary for a moment for the Bengals. It was 10-0 at one point for the favoring the Cincinnati Bengals. But it got scary because the Cardinals ended up coming back. They ended up scoring 14 unanswered points. So at that point, I'm watching the game. I'm like, uh-oh, maybe Bengals aren't as good as we thought. Maybe the ankle's worse than what I expected. But what really turned that game around was the first interception Dobbs threw. I believe that's the first interception he threw. I want to say it is. I don't know the stats, but I think that's his first one of the year. Ends up being a pick six, and that for me really changed the game around, favoring the Bengals. And from there, Bengals just really took over the game. James Conner had some good runs trying to help the Arizona Cardinals catch up, but then he got hurt, and the rookie stepped in, did good. He did solid, but it wasn't enough, and it's obviously not enough because the Bengals should be a better team as well. So the main thing I'm getting from that game was obviously Joe Burrow moving. I think he had 300 yards. Jamar Chase went off also with 3 tutties. So hopefully they continue moving that forward because here in the not next week, or I believe the week after, they play the Niners. So they're gonna need T. Higgins healthy. They're gonna need Joe Burrow as healthy as possible. Chase is healthy. Mixon, I think, is healthy as well. So everybody but Higgins and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's a TBD. So hopefully he continues to progress and get better week by week. Next game. London game, two big teams. They could meet in the playoffs. The Jags versus the Bills. What stands out for me is the run game that Travis Etienne and the Jags O-line provided for him, or he just ran hard. And because he ran hard, he had 26 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. One was to seal the game at the late fourth quarter to make it 25. They're at 18. So that really stood out for me. And what also stood out was the third downs. Jags 10 of 18. The Bills were 5 of 12. Time of possession, heavy favorite for the Jags. 38 minutes for the Jags, 21 for the Bills. The Bills really got away from the run game. I mean, they didn't even try to run the ball. When they did, they would get stuffed. The leading rusher for the Bills that was Josh Allen, James Cook, and like -5 yards. That's very unacceptable. I don't know if you're in London, so you're trying to show out for the crowd, but you have to run the ball. When it's that lopsided on time possession, your defense is gonna get hurt, and that's what you saw because they just lost the linebacker. The Bills did. I'm not remembering his name. Milano, I believe his name is. And because you're out there so much, you're bound to get hurt, and that's not good. You got to run the ball. You got to control the clock somewhat. Even if you can't run, you still got to try. That way, play action opens up. The pass game opens up. And Josh Allen, this game could have been the other way if he hits 2 deep passes. He had one. It wasn't underthrown. It wasn't really overthrown, but it was just not a good pass. It should have been a touchdown. Should have been a layup touchdown. And the next one he underthrew Stephon Diggs again, and that ends up being an interception. But on one of those bombs, well, the one that was not intercepted, they ended up with 0 points after that. That should have been an easy touchdown for Stephon. Nobody on that D was going to catch up to Stephon Diggs. Or if they did, it was going to be like at the goal line red zone area. So they ended up scoring 0 points. It could have been 34-25. Bills win the game, even without running the ball. Von Miller, I don't even know if he played. I saw him suit up, but I didn't see him at all out there. But the run game for the Jags, Travis Etienne was out there. He was really running, showing his speed. Even on one catch, he made guys miss. He was a player of the game that day for me. And when you run the ball so well and you convert on third down so much, keep Allen and Walker on the sideline. When they get on the field, they can attack Josh Allen a lot more. And that's what I also saw from the Jaguars defense. So really good game for the Jags. On the Bills side, I'm disappointed. You guys only showed up really in the fourth quarter. You could really call this one jet lag. It's not like they're going from New York to California to play the Raiders. Like they're going overseas. The Jags stayed in London from last week. So that's a big part of it as well. But nonetheless, I'm not going to take nothing away from the Jags. They played one heck of a game. So with that being said, both teams are 3-2. And if both teams are the same record at the end of the year, the Jags could get that home field advantage depending on seeding. Obviously, if they have the same record, it should favor now the Jags. So instead of going to Buffalo with 0 degrees, blizzarding outside, 100-mile-per-hour wind, now it's going to be Jags home field advantage. And hopefully they have home field advantage. I know Buffalo Bill fans love to travel, so it's going to be really interesting to see that going forward if they meet in the playoffs in Jacksonville. I'm going way ahead of myself, but good job from Jacksonville. Bills, I'm not going to give them no excuses. Just run the ball more, play a little bit earlier. Well, play all 4 quarters, not even earlier, but yeah, that's going to conclude this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. I'm not gonna discuss all the games like I have before because you guys seem to be reacting better to like big primetime games or big games in South. They don't have to be primetime, just big in general. So that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. But I'm still gonna watch all the games. So if you guys want me to discuss all the games, comment down below. I don't mind at all. I love watching football. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Peace. I'm out.